It was the site of 18 hanging drawings and quarterings on a single day, hanged, castrated, disemboweled, and had their body parts mounted up on the roof of the keep.
Be careful of this room, it's the most haunted. If you were going to be, let's say, possessed, it's in this room, and allegedly that has happened to a number of people. Hey Crypt Keepers, thank you so much for tuning into Amy's Crypt. Tonight we are investigating Newcastle Castle. This place is allegedly very haunted, but it's also very old, and there is a lot of history to uncover here, so stay tuned.
The Newcastle Castle Keep is a medieval fortification that continues to stand tall within the heart of a bustling city. A place of great history tainted by the many gruesome evil events that have made it so haunted.
Yeah, so this building that you're in now is called the Castle Keep. This is the central tower of what was the castle of Newcastle upon Tyne. That's where the name Newcastle comes from. And it's a 12th century stone tower. It's one of the last relatively intact castle keeps of this type left in the country. So the building here, it was completed 844 years ago, so the year 1178. It stands on the site of an earlier wooden castle which was built in around 1080 by the son of William the Conqueror, and that is standing on top of an Anglo-Saxon church and cemetery built around the 8th century, so around the 700s AD, and that is built on top of and stands in the grounds of a Roman fort that was part of Hadrian's Wall. So it has a considerable kind of history of new buildings being built on top of the old. I mean, it has a kind of general reputation for being a haunted building, and a lot of people are aware that it has quite a grisly history as well. So the Castle Keep itself was built as a kind of royal palace, but very quickly comes to be used as a sort of staging post for invasions of Scotland, to like a military location, and later on it's heavily used as a prison as well. So this is a prison courthouse on site, and even the site of a number of executions and things. It was the site of 18 hanging drawings and quarterings on a single day in 1528, when a whole outlaw gang were hanged, castrated, disemboweled, and had their body parts mounted up on the roof of the keep as a warning to others.
Newcastle Castle has stood the test of time, a figure to remember the past and those who came before us. But do some of the castle's past occupants still remain? The countless ghost stories about the keep seem to suggest that they do. From the footsteps, mists and apparitions people cite, to the entity that takes people over in the dungeon and attacks on visitors by the unseen, there is more than meets the eye at this location.
Some of the stories that you get from groups who've come in to investigate are things like people seeing shadowy shapes, particularly up on the galleries of the Castle Keep. Some people have even got photographs of these shapes. Chanting monks, which I think is a classic ghost story for any medieval site really. It is a really creepy place at night. I've stayed overnight here a number of times. I've worked here for over 10 years now. It's pretty grim. I've had some of those horrible feelings of like, you know, that you just don't want to be in a place anymore. But probably the only thing that I would say is particularly weird or inexplicable is me and my partner were in the castle and we were preparing for a Valentine's Day tour. We were doing a candlelit tour of the castle for Valentine's Day, and we were over in the keep just getting all the candles out, because we'd kind of realised that you can't just walk around with a candle because there's just not enough light. You need a lot of candles in there. So we went around to kind of relight all of these candles anyway and make sure that they were all lit. And we got up into the gallery, which is the bit of the keep where people tend to report most, I don't know, eerie feelings or activity. One of the candles had moved from where we'd put it. We'd put them into the arrow loops, which are like the little triangular spaces before you get to the narrow slit windows. And one of them had moved from the arrow loop out into the middle of the corridor, just one candle. And it was still upright and it was still lit. So we kind of thought, could it have blown over and rolled? But then blown over, rolled, stood itself back up and still be lit. And then we went down the corridor, we turned the corner, and there was another one. It had done exactly the same thing. It shifted from the window into the middle of the corridor. Yeah, I think they're all lit. Let's just leave it and go back downstairs because I'm getting kind of creeped out now. It's a creepy place, as you're going to find out yourselves when you're locked in overnight.
There are plenty of tragic events tied to Newcastle Castle, and some that have left their mark in ways that aren't necessarily paranormal, but are truly unbelievable.
A little girl was crushed in the street outside the castle by a guy throwing a donkey off the roof of the keep as part of some bizarre stunt in the 1700s. The flying donkey is a classic bit of Newcastle folklore. I mean, it's not just folklore, that is recorded in a newspaper from the time when it happened in 1733. A guy, he was described as a flying man, so this is like a person who professionally jumps off high high buildings. He flew down off the roof of the keep, and then he came back up and he chucked a donkey down attached to this rope, and a little girl was standing watching, and she was crushed by the donkey. She was killed, killed outright. So.
Knowing the castle had seen so much throughout its long lifetime, and so many had encountered the paranormal within its ancient stone walls, we were ready to investigate, but what we would uncover here would truly shock us and leave us feeling as though we'd truly made a connection with the other side.
Guys, we are kicking off tonight's episode on the roof of a castle. Oh my god, show them, Jared, show them.
Whoa, look at that view. That is insane. It's even got like soldiers on the roof. Hey, look at that.
This is such a cool shot.
Definitely the best view in Newcastle. Oh my god.
But of course we didn't come to Newcastle for the views. We came here for the ghosts. I can't wait to show you guys around either. This place is magnificent, but there are a lot of stairs. So we're starting at the top, working our way down so we're not all like out of breath for you guys.
Yeah, there are a lot of stairs here. You thought Oxford Castle was bad? There's so many more stairs at this place. At least it feels like it anyway. Watch your step.
Oh my god. Look at this spiral staircase as well. This pretty much connects the entire tower. This one staircase. Oh, what the fuck? What did I just see down here?
You saw something?
I literally just saw something. What was that? I thought I saw like a light or a mist down here. I know mists are supposedly common.
Can I just say something too?
What?
Ghost tips just stopped. It's just quit out of it.
It's just crashed or?
I don't know.
What the heck? Okay, start it again.
Okay, I'm going to start it again. But can I just say as well, I thought I saw something too.
Where? Here?
Like while I was walking behind you, I thought I saw like a light or something along the wall down the end here.
Right. I don't know if it was something reflecting.
Yeah, like to me I thought it could have been something reflecting, but it's not doing it now.
Well, you walk around the corner and come back in because you have the light, and I'll just film and see what I see.
In this moment, Jared and I both saw something strange, which we had described as being some sort of light, though also like an illuminated mist. I have reviewed both of our camera angles and sadly, neither of them captured anything out of the ordinary. We did try to recreate what we had seen, in case it was a light reflection cast down the hallway, yet we were not able to do so. This paired with our ghost tube app quitting by itself was quite interesting.
Like to me it was like around here somewhere.
Mine was sort of more on the staircase down here, but I don't know what that was.
Sinner.
Oh.
Just got our first word, sinner.
Are we sinners, or is there someone here who has sinned? This place was used as a jail.
There is a chapel here too.
And there is, yeah.
But we're not near it, it's a couple of floors down.
That's interesting though. This is where we saw something and we get our first response right here. So whether it's relevant or not, maybe it's just Ghost Tube is showing that there is energy in the area. But I do think Sinner definitely could be related to this place. A lot of battles, a lot of wars, people were imprisoned here, people were executed here, hung, drawn and quartered, and then their body parts displayed on the castle keep.
I'm not getting any magnetic, visible magnetic spikes though, but that is weird.
I heard a tap.
I just heard a noise down here, yeah.
If there's someone back here, can you make another noise?
Grace.
Sinner, grace, these are religious terms.
Are you religious? Isn't there a ghost story about a monk here as well?
People have encountered a black monk here who can be aggressive.
Are you an aggressive monk?
I just want to walk around this area. Oh, I can hear the church bells. I don't know why I like that so much.
Well, paired with sinner and grace. Hire. I just got the word hire.
Hire? Or hire someone to do a job?
Hire? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Just the word hire.
Well, this is the galleries. This looks into the Great Hall, which is just down here.
We're pretty fucking high.
We're super high. This tower is huge. But where we are walking now, figures have been seen a lot. There's just shadows sort of passing by. There's a lower level of the gallery as well, and a lot of people see dark shadows there too.
So the galleries that overlook the Great Hall, I think, is one of the spots, and a lot of people think that the Great Hall, as a result of that, the galleries kind of overlook you from there, so anything up there can kind of look down in on you. There's a small staircase leading up to a big pair of windows in the Great Hall as well, and I know somebody has taken quite a well-known photograph of a figure, what they called an apparition, a very indistinct kind of cloud-like sort of figure on that staircase.
So my name is Amy. I'm here tonight in the castle with Jared, and we would love to talk to anyone that is here. So please don't be scared of us.
Can you make yourself known by making this thing in my hand make a bunch of noises?
Tagging your train, and I am going to note, guys, this is one of the best preserved castle keeps in Britain, but also it's the only castle keep that is still standing this intact in the middle of a major city. So we're being very wary of traffic noise. There's a railway line right next to the keep, so I'm just making note of that for you guys and for my own records.
What do you think of all the train noises? Does it drive you mad?
I just heard more noises in the stairwell.
You just heard more noises here.
There's tapping noises down there.
If you can hear our voice, can you walk towards us, either up or down the stairs?
Make a loud noise for us.
Sounds like it was coming from downstairs, actually.
But like coming up the stairs towards us.
Should we follow it?
Yeah, let me get
Go
this.
this way.
Oh, what does it say?
Bribed.
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 Oh, that's interesting. Were you trying to bribe someone? Were you in here for bribing someone? Whoa, that was really deep. I can hear the noise up here now. It's like we come down to find it and then it moves upstairs. It's weird. You can follow us, just come up to us. Please don't be scared of us. So we are in another area of the gallery. You can see the Great Hall through here. Amazing, amazing place. This walkway here is probably the most common place for people to see visual phenomena, shadow play, shadow people passing through here. And one of the theories, and people speculate, but they actually don't know the deal with this, is this staircase up here. It's literally a staircase to nowhere.
How can you have a staircase to nowhere?
Go find out.
Oh yeah, it quite literally is a stairwell to nowhere.
So as far as the paranormal goes, the shadows are seen here. People speculate it has ties to this unfinished staircase. Why is that unfinished? Why is it even there? Does it have a purpose? It's often speculated that they started this staircase, war broke out, as it so often did here, between the English and the Scottish. And then after the war, they were like, can't be bothered finishing the stairs. And I don't blame them, because I reckon this place has enough stairs as is.
You're not kidding.
I am hearing noises down here though.
I just heard that thud.
That sounded like wood. Can you make another loud noise for me?
Oh. I'm getting a magnetic spark just here.
Check the stair rail.
Oh yeah, it's that.
Debunked. The Great Hall, honestly guys, this is so amazing, this place. Oh, it's huge and it's just beautiful. And obviously that's where we were, just up here.
Also the unfinished staircase is like just on that bit there.
So that's where people are often seen walking across.
There's actually a really cool place of interest coming off of this room. There's a cell up here. We're not in the dungeon yet, but there is a cell, and this cell had a toilet. So that means it was for someone very important. Just in here. So this cell here.
Let's go have a look.
Why do we always end up in the bathroom here on AmysCrypt? I swear to God.
Every time. Here it is. The dunny. And you know what? You know how Jared said this was for special prisoners, like people of royalty or people they had to look after had a toilet? The dungeon downstairs didn't have a toilet. It literally was a toilet. So you'd just be in the shit, basically.
Hang on. I just felt a breeze here.
I'm feeling one right now too.
But where's that coming from?
Probably the toilet hole.
The toilet hole's got a plastic covering.
Yeah, but it could be under this blade. Now, royalty did stay here from time to time. They believe that this was the king's quarters. And I did find some graffiti on the wall here that dates back to the 1600s during the Civil War here.
Is there a king here? If there's a king here, I want to see you. Can you come out and make this thing light up? Can you do something for us? I'm going to sit in your throne. I did it. I'm sitting in your throne.
The only other room in this area before we go down to the prison is the well room.
What's in the well room?
Well, since you asked so politely, a well is in the well room. Oh yeah, light me up.
It's a pretty deep freaking well. Like that little white dot at the bottom, that's the reflection of my light. I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but I'm telling you, it's a long bloody well.
Despite the well room having no prevalent ghost stories, it was a site of historical interest I wanted to share, especially since the castle sits on top of a water source which could potentially add to the paranormal activity within the building. Yet, during our short stay within the room, we captured what appears to be two voices onto our camera's audio that were not Jared's or my own. This isn't something we heard or tagged in the moment, so I'm not sure it was an external noise from the keep, yet I thought I'd share it with you all to see if you can make sense of what may have been said.
Bottom, that's the reflection of my light. I don't know if that means anything. Bottom, that's the reflection of my light. I don't know if that means anything.
Dungeons or chapel? Dungeons or chapel? Yeah, what do you guys reckon? Dungeons or chapel? Yeah, let's do the chapel first. Oh, Jared, I did find this today. This hole in the wall, you can see the dungeon through it.
I'm just like, nothing's gonna like jump out and poke me in the eye or something.
No! Like, you could actually see through to the prison.
Well, yeah, you can.
Anyway, we have to show you the chapel.
Whoa.
Honestly, guys, the chapel is gorgeous, and they do say this is the most intact and accurate part of the castle keep to how it would have looked originally. So, it's just gorgeous. I love it in here.
Yeah, that roof is crazy.
There is a little tombstone over here, a Norman gravestone, circa 1080 to 1095. And this place is built on top of a very old cemetery. So many reasons to be haunted. Okay, dungeon time. This is the most haunted place, guys.
This is a royal castle, so it actually did have a proper jail. A lot of castles, the dungeons that they kind of show tourists are not dungeons at all. They're like storage cellars and things like that. But this is a royal castle. I mean, this was used as a prison for hundreds and hundreds of years as the county jail for Northumberland. So the dungeon downstairs is like the real deal. It's still got the metal rings in the wall where prisoners were chained. It has graffiti on the doors and stuff, which some of which is almost certainly scratched there by prisoners locked in there, and lots of whom will have been sentenced to death after being dragged out of that room to the court briefly. So that place obviously has quite a long kind of grim history to it.
What the heck was that?
I didn't see or hear anything.
I just heard a loud tap, like on this door or something, and this door is original.
Yeah, that is an old bloody door.
This door is original. You can
even
actually,
see.
yeah, there's markings from prisoners on here.
Leave. We're about to enter into the dungeon and it says leave.
Why do you want us to leave? We don't mean you any harm.
Can we not come in? How come?
Sorry, I'm going to come in. I hope that's okay. I have been told, be careful of this room. It's you know, the most haunted. I've been told people have been taken over, I'll say, by entities. So if you were going to be, let's say, possessed, it's in this room, and allegedly that has happened to a number of people. There is, of course, the story of Poppy, the most famous ghost here.
Probably the most famous named or almost named ghost is the Poppy Girl, whose name is sometimes given as Poppy, in fact, so depending on who you're getting the story from. But she's supposed to have been a flower seller who was, I think sometime in the 1800s, was locked in the prison in the basement of the Castle Keep. So that was the county jail for Northumberland for a long time. And she was imprisoned and died down in the prison. And the sort of grisly details of how she died are up to the individual teller, as well as the crime that she committed to get thrown in the prison. There's not much actual documentary evidence for her, I think, I would say. I haven't been able to find any reference to her going back any farther than 1992. That's the oldest mention of that story and the oldest mention of a specific ghost story.
So Poppy, I don't know that that's your name. Maybe a lot of people call you that, but if there is a little girl here, my name is Amy. I'm here tonight with Jared and we would love to talk to you. We don't mean you any harm. We won't hurt you. Just want to let you know that it's okay if you wanted to talk to us.
How old are you, little Poppy? Little Poppy? How old are you? Can I just say that for a dungeon, this is a very weird layout. It seems like a grand hall to me, you know what I mean? Would there have been cells here? Like, how would it have worked?
No cells here. People were just chucked down here. Men, women, children, all together. They were shackled. Originally, there was no roof here. During the 1600s, oh, thank you. If this is the little girl or somebody else, we're here just to talk to you. Just telling everybody about what it was like when you would have been here. I think it was that window up there.
That's so nice of them to talk to me. We're here to talk to you.
We are here to talk to you. But as I was saying, at this point, the castle was in ruins. There was no roof. Any weather, rain, snow, anything would come down and it would fill up this area. It would flood. But as I mentioned earlier, there was no toilets down here. So it would be flood water and human waste. It would have been rank and disgusting and just terrible down here. Adding to that, people were shackled to the wall. And over here we can see evidence of that.
Rich.
Yeah, the rich people were the ones with the toilets. I'm sorry that you didn't have that privilege down here. So here, this is an original sort of fixture for the shackles. And then in here is an example of the shackles. It would have been absolutely horrible. And that is where the little girl's story originates. Some people call her Poppy. Some people say she was just selling poppies, like selling flowers. That was her job. But she's said to have been murdered down here. If you were thrown down here in a room full of people who were hungry, starving, desperate, like bad people, anything could have happened to you down here, especially as a child. So I don't know that the story is necessarily substantiated by historical fact, but I can picture things happening down here that would be similar to the story of the Poppy Girl. And talking about desperation as well, apparently outside the castle, just outside this area here, the stone is worn, and it's worn because people on the outside were desperately trying to get food, water, supplies to their loved ones who are being held here in the prison down here. A lot of people also executed here. So people were awaiting their fate here, awaiting their time to die.
Do you know if these are like original?
I doubt they're original because they look so nice, but you could definitely be sentenced to have to spend time in one of those. Did it say rich again?
Rich twice.
I just heard the window. It sounds like someone tapping on the window. It could be wind. Let me try. This window doesn't feel loose. So guys, up there I'm hearing like rattling on a pane of glass. I literally with my hand just tested every single pane in that window and I can't replicate that noise. It's weird.
So we got the word rich twice. I'm not sure if rich is a name or if they're saying like you're rich or something, you know? I don't know, you were talking about the privileges of the wealthy before, but...
It was weird timing for rich to come out because I had just mentioned the toilet and the rich people having an actual toilet in their dungeon or their cell. There is some graffiti down here too. You can see some of this is actually, they believe, is original too. It's crazy.
Can you tell us what the graffiti says?
So this chamber up here is just like another extension of the dungeon. So it probably was used to hold prisoners back in the day.
Jesus.
And we found another toilet.
Another one? God, how many does this place have? Oh my God.
Anyway, the fact that we're seeing a toilet here means that we're in somebody's quarters who was important. They believe this was for the Queen. It's sort of set up as an office right now. They do believe it was the Queen's quarters, but at some stage they believe that this area could have had links to monks. And one of the paranormal things that happen very often here is that people will hear monks chanting in this room.
Probably not paranormal, it might just be the stuff they've got in here. But I reckon it smells like fruitcake, like, you know, that Christmas fruitcake that they serve
I can
at
smell it
Christmas
too,
time?
yeah.
Like a fruitcake smell.
There is a sweetness to this room that the rest of the castle doesn't have. Cinnamony.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Like, I don't know if they've got like herbs or something on here or something, I don't know, but it smells, I can't see any, but it smells like cinnamony or something in here.
Having now covered all areas inside the castle keep of significance, we return to the Great Hall, a central place of historical importance, to begin reaching out. In addition to this, we set up a Ghost Tube SLS camera to monitor the area of the gallery where Jared and I earlier thought we had seen something illuminated and mist-like, as well as another to monitor the staircase to nowhere, where many people claim to sight shadow figures. But within the Great Hall, we set up to run Ghost Tube Vox and see if any intelligent responses and voices could be documented.
Hi, I'm Amy. This is Jared. Can we have your name, please?
I thought I heard something What did you say? I thought I heard creaking over here as it said that.
I thought it said where they leave or where they lie, maybe? Maybe more where they leave. Who is leaving? Please stay. Who are we talking with? If you won't share your name, maybe you can share your status. A king, a queen, a prisoner, a lord, a lady.
Smith.
Did you hear something about smith? Like they would call a blacksmith a smith, right?
Maybe, yeah, I did hear that.
So you're a tradesperson? Why did you come to this castle?
It's really...
Can you tell me, are you English or are you Scottish?
And they will love.
Where are you from?
Henry. I know. I'm Paul.
Why are you still here in the keep?
Once again.
I've heard there's a little girl here who was a flower seller and you smell of flowers. I would love to smell that tonight. Is this a true story? Are you really here?
Suffered.
I heard suffered, a woman saying suffered, which could be relevant to so much here at the castle, but also the Poppy Girl story. How did you suffer?
The bank.
Just cut that out for a sec, I just heard that came from in here.
That's like clicking.
I feel like it was that door.
This is sort of like the door into the keep as well, like officially. But yeah, I heard like clicking down here. Is there someone making noises down here?
Can you make that noise again?
Mother.
Mother? Are you looking for your mother? Are you a mother?
That mother had a pretty deep voice.
It was a dude's voice, but that's why I was like, are you looking for your mother?
Here, we got some pretty amazing communication, which began by us hearing a sort of clicking noise that seemed to emanate from the main door into the castle keep. After this, we received a response through GhostTubeVox, which said mother, clearly with a male voice and an English accent.
Mother.
What really astonished me, however, is following this response through Vox, we picked up on another voice, this time female, that also says mother. This voice, however, was not something that came through GhostTubeVox and was something that our camera audio picked up within the castle. It's also not something we heard in the moment, leading me to believe it was an EVP.
Are you a mother? Are you a mother?
I can't say for sure what mother meant, but the fact that we received the word in 2 different ways makes me feel it must be significant, and further helps validate the equipment and communication styles we use to investigate.
Can you tell us who's roaming the castle on the upper floors?
That should be Carol.
That would be Carol? That's what I heard, but
I didn't hear the last bit. Who's roaming the upper levels of the castle? Can you tell me that? This church was creepy. In a dark castle on your own.
they are. Can you hear the bells too?
Yeah, tell so.
What do the church bells mean?
Did you hear that?
Just heard something in that corner, yeah.
I thought it was up there, maybe.
Can you tell us what's making that noise?
A half.
Half? Am I allowed in the king's chamber? Is it alright if I go in here?
Mama's wife.
As we enter the former king's quarters, we receive a response that I did not see as relevant in the moment, referring to a woman's work. Perhaps this was a room where women were not permitted. Additionally, after this, I would be told that I wasn't welcome in this space, and then told to get out 3 times. Do you think this could be meaningful?
Can you tell me about this room?
Can you tell us whose room this used to be?
Used to be.
Used to be?
What?
Yeah, can you tell us whose cell this used to be? Just repeated what I said then.
That's weird.
Whose room was this? Can you tell me where I'm standing? What was it? Am I supposed to be in here?
Another.
Do you want to take over?
Did it say not her?
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, did sound like that. Maybe they don't want you here. Here, you take this and I'll swap.
Here, I'll stand just outside the door then. Alright, is it okay if he's in there?
Just for the record, guys, they believe this was the king's quarters that we're standing in right now.
Probably why they don't want me in there. Peasant woman. What do you think of me?
Out.
Okay. It was almost like, psst, like, here's a warning, here's a tip.
Get out.
Should we not be in there because we're not royal? We're just lowly peasants? I don't think they wanted us in that room, Jared.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anyone in the hall that can talk to us? Anyone at all?
With responses in the Great Hall slowing right down, Jared and I made our way downstairs to the chapel, as we felt like we had received some religious words earlier in the night. We decided to run GhostTube SLS while we descended, and made use of the LiDAR filter that maps the depth of the environment while looking to detect human-shaped figures. In addition to this, we left a still camera rolling inside the Queen's room, since the ghostly chanting of monks had been heard there in the past.
So if there are any monks or anyone else around, we would love to hear your prayers, your chants, your singing.
Switch your step. If there's anyone here, can you make yourself appear in front of me?
Oh, ow. It's okay, I just walked into this.
Oh my god, that looks so creepy on this.
It just looks like you're walking into a void.
Yeah.
So guys, we are technically walking through the jail or the dungeon area right now. If anyone can hear my voice, we would love to interact with you tonight.
I haven't got any figures yet. Oh my god, that is just one big dark void in here. So those of you that are using... Ugh!
What?
Spider!
Oh.
His shadow's there, he's just here.
Oh. I literally could only see its shadow. You can barely just see him on camera.
I'm not seeing any figures. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's not haunted or that there aren't spirits here. I was really hoping we'd get something down here.
If there is somebody here and you can hear my voice, please don't be afraid of us. We would love to see you. We would love to say hello.
Can you pray for us?
Hello. Ooh. Oh.
Alrighty then.
Guys, next experiment down in the dungeon, and I have the craziest idea for an Estes method.
Oh no, what?
Look what I got. I got some cuffs to replace those handcuffs that you broke at Brushy Mountain State
No, I'm
Penitentiary.
traumatized from that. No, I'm not doing it.
Okay, well I do have a backup idea if you weren't going to put
Anything
these
but
on.
them. Fine.
Alright, let's do the backup idea.
Are you kidding me?
So how are you feeling about this plan B?
Obviously Come on, get me out.
Well, are the handcuffs starting to feel a bit more suitable?
Yes, just get me out.
How are we feeling in those cuffs, Jared?
Well, better than that headlock thing. But I am seriously traumatized after the incident at Brushy State. Why?
There may be a backflip.
No!
I cannot see it, but I just didn't.
All jokes aside, we now set up to perform an ST session in the dungeon. This saw Jared wear a blindfold and noise-cancelling headphones while listening to a spirit box and relaying anything he heard come through, while I asked questions that he could not hear. Additionally, we handcuffed Jared to one of the original shackle loops on the wall of the dungeon, as a sort of trigger for the spirits, and our results would be truly chilling.
So my name is Amy, this guy over here, his name is Jared, and I would love for you to go up to and talk to him. Say anything that you would like to him. Am I funny? Maybe you can go towards that red light. I've put some keys there that'll help you get out. Or maybe you can walk up this staircase here. A couple of balls on the staircase.
Please.
Can we have your name, please? Again, my name's Amy, the guy with the funny things on his ears.
5.
And
There
eyes
is.
Jared. Is there 5 of you in here? What was your crime? I won't judge
My
you.
name's Clinton.
We didn't know this at the time, but the name Clinton does have its origins in England, where it was used to indicate one's ancestry was from the areas of Glimpton or Glinton, and the 4th Duke of Newcastle during the 1800s was even named Henry Clinton. Though I cannot say Clinton is relevant, this background does make the name seem more fitting.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me, Clinton.
We're here.
That's so cool. I mean, maybe not that you're in this actual spot. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? That's that window again. I'm telling you.
Food.
Would you like some food? That's funny because that's the window they used to get the food from. Pig, is that something you were called, or are you talking to me, or you want to eat pig? I can bring you some food if you would like.
Collapsed. Here.
Are you sick down here?
Hasn't broken.
Hasn't broken your spirits? I'm sure you're very strong. Were you down here a
The
long?
beast.
Were you down here for very long? Do you know how long?
Relationship.
Who are you referring to? So this is what I'm looking at, guys.
I felt the floorboards moving over here.
Well, that's weird, because I'm very far from there. Are you near Jared? If you are, can you go towards the
My
red light?
right leg.
Can you touch him? He won't mind.
What's for dinner?
Whatever you would like. I can go get you some food if you want.
I'm a bit blind.
I am too. See these? They help me see a little bit. Or maybe you think of Jared because he's got that covering on his eyes. What can you see in this room? Can you tell me anything that you can see here? Just heard a noise in here.
Labour. The church says.
Church wanted you to do work for them?
Negative.
Careful, guys. Are you coming in from that staircase?
I just thought I saw something. I'll tell you about it afterwards.
In this moment, Jared sees a vision in his mind, almost like a psychic vision, which is something that can be brought on from inducing trance-like states, such as in the Estes method, which he will explain later. Scarily, what he sees does end up being relevant to this location and the religious words we had just received. I also find it interesting that this would occur right as I heard a slight noise come from the staircase, where a cat ball also triggered, since pairing moments of interest together always feels more compelling than them happening independent to one another.
Is there a little girl here?
A high-pitched, really high-pitched ringing noise.
I would love to talk to the little girl, and I put these balls on the staircase just for you. Maybe you like to play with them.
Accepted.
Accepted. Okay, so you want to play, you will play with them? Sort of like a game.
Also, I thought I heard a few indistinct child voices, but I couldn't make out what they were saying.
So I was just asking for the little girl. Now the reason I'm down on my knees, I just thought that I would kneel, is I did a special video for my Demons level patrons and YouTube members early today when we first got here, and
It's unclear.
the first word I got through down in the dungeon was kneel, so I thought I would kneel. How can I be more clear for you? My voice, or is it how you can talk to Jared? Is it hard to talk to us?
More.
I don't know what happened here for you, but I'm sure it was probably not very pleasant, and I just want to say I'm sorry for that.
We're here.
Can you tell me whereabouts?
Feel free to use it. Leave.
Someone new here? You don't want us down here in the dungeon, do you?
Leave.
Why should we leave? I hope we're not upsetting you, or are you saying leave to look out for us?
There.
I get the feeling when we're getting leave, because we had leave earlier. It was
Leave.
more like a protective thing, not like leave, you're annoying me, I don't like you, but more like leave.
Executed. I just heard the word executed, believe it or not.
And that sort of fits in with what I'm feeling, like leave, this isn't a good place for you. Not necessarily leave because we don't like you, and then executed. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but is that something that might have happened to you? Or someone you know, someone in this room?
The next body.
I know that a lot of people were executed here. I know that people were hung, drawn and quartered here even. Under?
Me.
Under Jared?
Her.
Are you talking about me, or is there another her here? A little girl maybe? Maybe a lady? Keep hearing that window banging, it's kind of freaky. I'm also hearing Jared's handcuff move, but I don't know if that's him moving his hand or it's just moving.
To me, the movement noises here sound exactly like the fake handcuffs I had placed Jared in moving around. Additionally, that was the direction from where the sounds were coming from in the room. In the moment, I was unsure if Jared was actually moving around causing the noise, but from watching the replay from the camera, he is completely still. Yet what would happen next was extremely creepy.
Soldier.
Oh, are you English or Scottish? Are you okay?
Something just happened with my wrist and these handcuffs.
What?
Well, either gravity or something can, like, they slipped or they just moved. I don't know, you have to see what it's like.
What's so weird is a few times before you said that and like looked at them, I could hear the handcuffs moving. I was like, I don't know if Jared is moving, but I could hear the handcuff, like that distinct rattle noise that they make. Shake your wrist a bit. That exact noise I heard a couple of times then, but I kind of wasn't looking at you, so I just assumed you might have been moving. So I don't know if something was tugging at your handcuffs. I also just want to say, when you kept saying leave them, I didn't feel threatened by the leave, or leave as in like you guys are annoying us, leave, but I almost felt like leave was a protective thing, like leave, you shouldn't be here, this is not a good place. Like,
well, it's really weird because the leaves I just heard then were like, leave, leave. They weren't like, leave.
See, I don't get a threatening thing, like it's someone that's angry at us being here and they don't want us in here.
Oh, I'm really cold all of a sudden, sorry. I'm really cold.
Can you go towards the red light next to him?
Without further interactions here, I asked Jared to explain the image he had seen in his mind while performing the Estes.
So on the internet, we might be able to find a few to show you guys, but on the internet there's these images circulating where you look at the image, it's a black and white image, and you stare at it for 10 seconds. And then when you close your eyes, you're supposed to see a different image like burned into your eye, you know what I mean? Or if you stare at a bright light for a long time, you see it when you shut your eyes. Like I can still see that light now, like burning into my eyes. It was sort of like that, but I saw, best I can describe it was like a man with a weird hat, and I immediately thought priest. Like it was like a weird diamond hat with something on it, maybe like a cross or something, some symbol on it, and a man. It was really weird. I don't think I've had that before, and I don't claim to be psychic or anything. I'm just saying, like, it just burned into my eyes, like, randomly, like, from nowhere. Alright guys, so I've come to the chapel trying to see if we can piece together any clues about what I thought I saw. Unfortunately, none of the pictures or diagrams on the wall have anything that resembles what I described. But I did find a picture online that looks like what I saw. So I'm going to bring it up now.
So Jared is a massive Futurama fan, and this is his bloody reference picture that he gives me.
This is what I saw. Not the lizard bit, but that's the hat. That's what I saw, like a weird diamond-shaped hat.
So funnily enough, we go upstairs to our guides who work here. They're quite knowledgeable about the castle and the place. And we ask, what would have the priests or the religious folk here worn? And they don't know exactly, but they said because this church was sort of a private church and it was just for the royals, they would have been adorned in very, very fancy clothing. And
the lizard's clothing is fancy. Okay,
so maybe that was something that I don't know. Or like that is just, and we have had religious words come through tonight, so.
I'm not going to say that I'm psychic or anything, guys. This was just a weird random image that was burned into the back of my eyeballs when I closed my eyes. But that's what I thought I saw. Not the lizard bit, but the hat. So I don't know. I don't know, make it what you will, but that's what I thought I saw.
Is it relevant? Leave a comment. Is this the third eye kind of thing? Leave a comment.
Or have I just been watching too much Futurama?
Doing a little further research on this description, I feel like what Jared saw could have been a medieval bishop, yet I'm no expert on religion. Either way, the dungeon proved to be a very interesting place during our investigation, but as the night was wearing on, we wanted to spend some time reaching out, conducting an EVP session in the former Queen's quarters where the ghostly chanting of monks had been reported in the past.
So is there anyone with us here in this room? If so, can you make yourselves known by talking to this device in my hand?
Just to introduce ourselves, my name is Amy and this here is Jared. Could we please have your name?
Can you tell us about the chanting that people hear in this area of the castle?
Tagging the clock. Or the church bells, sorry.
Do you enjoy hearing that sound? Can you tell us what your role was here in the castle?
The
We reviewed the EVP recording but unfortunately did not pick up anything of interest. Yet our time at Newcastle Castle had been a fruitful and unforgettable one. From the strange mist we had seen earlier in the night, to the words from GhostTube leading us through the castle, to the same response coming through Vox and a potential EVP, the spirits telling me to get out of the King's Room, and finally, the amazing interactions along with warnings and even images we received in the castle dungeon. This was such an incredible night inside a truly incredible castle. And if you have watched this far, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and have your notifications switched to all, as you won't want to miss any of the other incredible locations and investigations we have coming up, starting with our next video inside Australia's most haunted asylum, a place where many were kept under torturous conditions and lost their lives in tragic circumstances, but also a place that affected me immensely and broke me down within the first 10 minutes of our investigation, only to continue messing with me throughout the entire night. You will not want to miss our paranormal investigation of Arundel Lunatic Asylum.
How cool is the Newcastle Castle? And I love that it's like Newcastle Castle, Castle. I don't know why I dig that so much. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video. I really love the history behind this place. It's absolutely stunning and it's so cool to have this ancient monument right in the middle of a modern day city. It's amazing. So please, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe because that really helps me out. If you want to do a bit more reading on this haunted place, head to my website, AmysCrypt.com. You can also follow me on social media. I'm at AmysCrypt on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And I post bonus content on my YouTube and my Patreon that are linked below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.